What's up? I'm Ayla.
Hi, I'm Beth Ann.
And this is Let's Talk BL, a Boys Love podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. It is Sunday, Series Sunday, the day of the week where we talk all about one series and one series only. Chock full of spoilers. So if you've not watched Dangerous Romance, do it.
Oh, okay. Starting out with a hot take.
Listen, I have established, I think I have realized that like the high school ones, I think they have to be really unique, kind of like a My School President or...
I know. I love it. It's so
ones.
funny because I love that everybody had to like walk back their opinions about high school BLs when My School President came out because I vividly remember during GMMTV 2023, you didn't watch it live, but I did. Mm-hmm. And so did another one of our friends, Renee, who's been on the podcast before. Yeah. She and I were watching it together, like texting. When I say together, like not in the same room. And we were like texting about it. And I remember we were both like, meh, like, oh, another, like, we both were like, I don't know, maybe that's the only one I'll skip this year. Like a high school BL, like, I don't know about a high school BL, like, oh, all the babies. And then like, I remember all of the conversation on Twitter was like, high school, like, aren't we out of high school? Can't we move out of high school?
So many people were like anti-high school, except for the Perth and Chimmin. They were like, oh my God, this trailer looks amazing.
And now people are like, what's interesting is now people are like, oh, I don't like, you know, it's not surprising I don't like this because I don't like high school BLs. I mean, except for My School President. It's so funny to watch people be like, I just really like Jeff Fort. No. Like, it's really funny.
I wonder if it's because My School President was so fluffy that you can watch it and be like, oh, it's sweet. It's fun to watch. Like, there's not... I mean, this wasn't super spicy, but like also, I don't know. I mean, the same thing can be said of Dangerous Romance.
Here's what I'll say. I think it's casting because I don't think, again, also Never Let Me Go set in high school. It's not a high school BL where like, because most of it doesn't actually take place in school.
In the high school, but they're high school students.
Right.
Yeah.
And a good portion of it takes place in the school. But... here's what I will say, and this potentially is a hot take, a controversial take. I don't think that My School President was all that unique in the world of high school BLs. Like, I'm just saying, like, there have been other fluffy high school BLs. Like, there have been other high school BLs like this before. Same thing with Never Let Me Go. Same thing with Dangerous Romance. Like, none of this is groundbreaking. And, like, spoiler alert, that's okay. Like, things don't have to be groundbreaking.
I don't know. I disagree with the My School President because I can't think of another BL that, like, had, like, the music and the sweetness and the fluffiness out of Thailand.
Really? You can't? No. The Best Story.
That I wouldn't call that fluffy at all. That was like emotional and dramatic. That wasn't like a fun watch. One
episode was dramatic.
Thing was so sad.
No, literally, the whole thing was not sad. It was hilarious. It was a comedy
the entire time, isn't he?
No. What show did you watch?
His mom hates him.
No. What show did you watch?
A very sad story. Potentially the ending just traumatized me. And I was like,
literally
so
there's one episode that's sad. It's fluffy. It's funny. Literally they meet because he throws a basketball and it smacks him in the head and like Yin has to carry him on his back. And like also like... he's like, oh, my name is Bess, but I'm the worst. Ha ha ha.
I was gonna say,
like he's like klutzy, he's clumsy, he's ditzy.
I don't
and
think
it's
fluffy,
all about music, right? Like
I don't think fluffy and sweet when I think in more.
The whole thing is the band. Like I'm just saying, The Best Story. Like, and also My School President had all of these like dramatic things you're talking about in The Best Story. Okay, can we talk about the mom? Can we talk about like how there was this like rando storyline of like she's dying, no she's not. So like that's what I'm saying is like it's not groundbreaking. It's not unique, right? Like The Best Story has done this.
I would disagree. I think it was groundbreaking.
Okay.
In my opinion. For all you out there.
It was groundbreaking because you liked it and that's okay, but it doesn't mean it's the first time anyone ever did it.
Bad Buddy, they were in high school?
No, they were in college.
Oh, they flashed back to high school.
Yes.
There's so many. I can't remember half the things.
But I guess, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, not every idea has to be brand new, and that's okay.
Right.
Because what makes something groundbreaking isn't that it was the first of its kind.
Mm-mm.
What makes something, like, amazing and magical is the casting. I would make the same argument for You're My Sky, Jude My Kajang Fa, right? Like, that wasn't the first sports BL, but it was magic. And it was magic because the casting was exactly right. And that's my argument for My School President, is not that it was the first of its kind, is that the casting was exactly perfect. And that's what made it magical. And not just the lead cast, the, like, entire group of like every single person in that cast was exactly perfectly right for that role. And so, like, that is what made that show groundbreaking, not that it was the first and only. And something doesn't have to be the first and only. And I don't know why people feel like they have to go to the mat and be like, oh, this is the only one. Like, no, it's not. And that's okay.
I mean, I do think that My School President was pretty unique in the world of, like, high school BLs as it relates to what else is out there. But I think, yes, I do think the casting is important. I think that each show, I would say I don't compare shows quite to the effect of, like I'm not comparing all the high school BLs, right? Like, I'm not saying, like, this show, I didn't enjoy this show as much because it wasn't My School President. And I think that's where fans take it a lot too. They're like, oh, they're not doing what they did in other high school shows or any of that stuff. I think each one stands alone, and the critique or opinions that we give of each show, I'm definitely coming from my opinion as I watch the show as a single entity. And I think that's an interesting conversation too that I see on Twitter a lot, is people being like comparing shows. And I think that's when you kind of get into these like weird areas, but you can look at why one show worked better than the other, or why one show worked in the way that it did and why another show it didn't. For me, this show just didn't hit quite as well as like other shows that I've watched, because yes, I think the casting of other shows, the ensemble, I mean, I will say this ensemble, this ensemble
was pretty great choices. But I will, like, again, if you want to say, like, okay, what went wrong, what went right, because people do say, right, like, earlier today you said, like, oh, I don't know, the high school BLs, they just don't hit for me anymore, right? And so, like, you do compare, right? Like, it's not standing alone, right? It's, like, in a group of high school BLs. Everything's a group. Things are in genres. That's okay, true, right? True. Like, that is how we look at, like, that is how we view media, like, everyone as a human.
Right.
So, like, if you want to go with something that had like a similar tone that's also in high school and also the same company, sure, Never Let Me Go. Yeah. Why did Never Let Me Go potentially work better? Every single person in every single role was exactly right. I think that this was a really challenging story to get right. And I think that, and we see this every year, trailers and the actual show, very different. So the first trailer that we saw and then the show that we got, I will say it, not the same thing.
So different. The tone, that's what they got wrong in this show.
Yeah. So we'll get into all of this, but I wouldn't go as far as you would being like, watch it. I actually do think you should watch it. I think there are a lot of reasons to be really excited about the show and to really like this show. Is it like the top show of the year? No.
Yeah, I definitely will be rewatching this show.
Is it a decent watch? Yes. So I would say, if it was me, this is going to be chock full of spoilers. If you haven't watched the show yet, go watch it. Give it a try, because it's your opinion. You're going to consume this media differently than we did. And like, you're going to have your own opinion. Okay,
let's get to the nuts and bolts. And then, of course, we're going to have so many more opinions about this show.
Yes.
It's 12 episodes. It's on YouTube because it's GMM-TV. The director of this also directed Love Mechanics, Sodus, Love in Translation. I feel like you can see some similarities in all of those. It stars as Silom, Chimon as Kanghan Perth.
Okay, synopsis. Yeah. Silom, a poor and studious student, works several odd jobs to help his elder brother in his efforts to keep them afloat. One day, Siloam has a run-in with the school bully Kanghan and becomes his primary target after refusing to be cowed. However, fate plays its hand when Siloam is offered a sum of money too great to refuse, and he takes on the role of Kanghan's private tutor. Despite their difference, the two develop an irrefutable connection.
You know what?
That's a decent synopsis.
It is a decent synopsis.
Although fate did not intervene, Kunyai did. And shout out Kunyai.
I know.
She is one of the shining lights. She is one of my amazing reasons to watch this show.
She was fantastic. She was solid the entire time. Thinking about what we were talking about with casting, I would say this one's hard because it's hard for a current, a brand new ship to do a show like this. I think Never Let Me Go hit because Pon Puin could carry those characters and make you believe in that because like there's something magical about Pon Puin's chemistry. I think Perth and Shimon, they're still new to each other and they're still working through like how to relate to each other in character.
To each other, I think, is the key phrase of what you just said because Perth is they're both really seasoned actors and you can tell when you watch the show that they both like know what they're doing and they've got acting chops and they and it especially shines in their like solo scenes, and I think that's one of the things that makes this show feel a little bit like disjointed and just like not quite like it doesn't have that like oomph, is because they're still learning how to play off of each other and bring those two very like separate acting careers together.
Because they did great with the friends, they did great with the family. Kanghan with Kunyai and
oh my god, I'm obsessed
with his dad was great, and then you have Siloam with his brother. Like so many of those relationships outside of like the main couple, I thought were really well done and were like nice to watch.
And the friend group, Siloam and his friend group, I am so fully cute. Obsessed.
Yeah, they were pretty great.
There's a scene in episode 12 where Mark's character, don't remember his name. Guy. Oh, right. It's on his soccer jersey. Should remember that. It like, he's on crutches because he's hurt. And he like hops off the bottom step to hug Siloam. And I was like, oh my God, it was so cute. That's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I know this show did give us the Mark Powin ship again, which I adore. I adore Mark and Powin. I really loved my Gear Gown. Controversial
question. Take. Are Mark and Powin destined to only be connected to high school shows because, like, now in their comeback? Because, like...
They started in college.
Dangerous Romance. So, Dangerous Romance. Also, like, their real return was in Never Let Me Go Part 2, where they've already graduated, but again, a connection to a high school show.
Right.
Or not Part 2, Our Sky 2. And then you've got Dangerous Romance. And then the second return, like, they got announced for 2024 as a side couple in Our Way, My Way.
We Are.
Their Way. We Are. There you go. There you go. And We Are, which I believe is also set in high school.
I think they're in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It's the other...
It's Keen's show that's in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's the straight show. It's the straight show with Puin that's in high school. Is it Puin or is it Pond?
Oh.
And Dunk.
Puin and Dunk. I think that one's college. I think they meet in high school and then they go to college.
I was going to say definitely the fall kisses in high school. Because I remember I was like, like. And they're wearing the little shorts. That's how I know. That's how you know. Shout out to Thailand for the whole uniform situation because you always know how old everyone is based on whether they're wearing shorts or pants.
And they wear them 24/7 in Thailand.
All the time.
You know exactly.
Literally at all times. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you, because I'm trying to think, like, of course, after high school, I went out in public and like did my life during the week. And so it's just so much more stark of a contrast because in Bangkok everyone walks everywhere and it's very out in the open, like it's a city, you're moving from one place to another, like kind of outside of cars, and so I guess like you see them more regularly, whereas like in the States rarely do people wear uniforms.
Not more regularly. Also, not anymore. Uniforms are pretty standard across almost all schools now.
Oh, not where I'm from.
Yeah, here. Yeah, pretty standard across almost all schools. Like, everyone's got a uniform, or like you at least have to wear a polo, or you at least. That's why, like, when you walk into Old Navy now, for example, around school time, like, it's decked out.
Do students here change quicker out of those uniforms?
No, because I see them. I see them. Yeah, and there's a I mean, all private schools have uniforms, but there's a private school here. Actually, they're all over the country, but their kids do internships, and that's how they like pay for, like, it's a private school, but it's everyone there is on scholarship, and the way that they, like, part of their scholarship comes from, they all go do internships. And so, like, if you're driving through the, like, it's called Midtown in Houston, which is basically like where most businesses are, like offices, you see the Cristo Rey kids like walking like to their internship. And like, yeah, if you are like near Chinatown in Houston, near the time that school lets out, you're going to see the kids walking in their uniforms. If you're like,
I'm saying the difference is like in the general public. Like if I were to go to Target on a weekday when school lets out, like I'm not seeing quite the concentration, or like every time we go to the Galleria, like I don't see quite the concentration when you are in
I think that's
the
accessibility
malls in Thailand.
I think that's accessibility, because like all of the malls in Thailand are connected to a metro station.
Yeah.
Versus like to get to the Galleria in Houston, you have to have a car and drive a car and have gas, and like,
where do the teens hang out here?
I don't know. I'm not a teen.
Where did you hang out after high school? Did you just go home?
I mean, we hung out like in the neighborhood. Like we were little hoodlums. Like we for sure like would just like roam the neighborhood, like causing
we like went to each other's homes.
Chaos.
Like there wasn't anywhere that we went out in public. Like there was a generation that hung out in like the Walmart parking lot, or like went to the mall.
Yeah, there were little like shops, and so like we would go. There was like a hookah place we liked to go. There's like a little like snack shop. There was a coffee shop. A lot of food. A lot of times you'll just go get food. But also I was in extracurricular activities, so a lot of my after school was spent at school.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, I think that like in Bangkok it's accessibility, because like every mall is off of a metro station. But what I will say is
just everywhere.
I don't think it's as stark a contrast as maybe like you might assume, like you might think.
Through my experience, it's definitely a stark contrast, because I in my everyday life do not interact with like hordes of students. I think it's the sheer number, because like, yes, because I take care of kids, like I do see an occasional school uniform here and there, but it's the amount. Like,
well, but
many.
I will say it is, I don't want to say a bit excessive, but kids in Bangkok wear their school uniforms on the weekends.
Yeah, all the time.
Like, and at first I was like, oh, they're going to school, because like in Korea they do go to school on Saturdays. It's like a 6 days school week. And so it's like my initial assumption was like, oh, here they just have school on Saturdays. And then I asked, I think it was Mimi about it, and she was like, oh no, they just are wearing it so that like they're a high school student. And I was like, so okay.
Do you get like a special discount? Like, do you get
I was
treatment?
Like, okay.
Do you like not get in trouble if you look like a good student? Like what?
Unclear.
That is so interesting. Yeah, because like even more so when we go to like performances, like you'll see bands on the street, and they'll perform at different things. They're wearing their school uniforms in their bands.
I did ask about that. They wear it in their bands so that you'll like think they're cuter, because you're like, oh my god, they're in high school. Okay, that's so nice. And then you like give them more money, and you like film them, and like yeah.
That makes sense.
I did ask about that.
I was support them harder.
I was like, what? Because also we went to a show last time we were in Thailand. It was like a Mellow Pop showcase. And there was like a group of kids that performed in their high school uniforms. And I thought they really were in high school, because the first time we went to Idol Exchange,
they were not.
There was a high school band that was in high school, and they were wearing their high school uniforms. And
because one of them was the brother of Peak.
Yes. And like I looked them up, and they were legit in high school. So I was like, oh, this is cute. And so then this last time at Mellow Pop, they were all wearing their uniforms, and I was like, oh, cute, another high school band. And then I got like up close to them, and I was like, wait, no. I was like, wait, no.
That was really funny. They truly up close looked 45.
Yeah. I was like, wait, no. So like, yes, apparently it's a thing to be like they wear it so that you're like, oh, like look at this cute youth.
Cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
That's not how I felt about watching all of the youths in Dangerous Romance wearing their uniforms. I was not like, oh, cute youths.
Yeah, I think we talk about this a lot, and I feel like I've seen a lot of conversation about the idea that like Singto is in a high school drama right now, and people are like, when does Singto stop being in a high school drama? And the funny thing, because he's like 30 now, and so it's funny because I think it happens.
Although, is that his first high school drama?
I have no idea.
I think it is.
Because he was
Baker Boys. So does his college.
When he was in He's Coming to Me.
He's Coming to Me as college.
But did he die as a high schooler?
No, he died in college. In the flashback when the mom sees him die, like they're in like the college. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I actually think it's his first. So not when does he stop? It's like, oh wow, you finally made it to high school. Congratulations. You can do I.
I mean, like Fluke definitely looks like a high schooler forever and always, kind of like Kuhart will, but like that happens in the West too. Like all the teen dramas of my youth, they were like 25.
They're all in their 30s. Yeah. The girl that plays Bonnie on Vampire Diaries, who's also in every CW show ever. Like I wish I knew her name, like her actual name. I know her as Bonnie on Vampire Diaries. She is in every high school drama ever in the West. Funny. And truly, she's like 38.
Yeah.
And she's still playing like a 16-year-old.
I mean, if you could do it, I love that. But yeah, it is funny. I wonder if at some point you get to age out of high school.
Well, it also made me confused while watching this show because I was like, oh, Perth and Shimon are like way older than high schoolers. Like I was like, they're like quote unquote old for like whatever. And so I was like, oh, everyone else is old. And okay. By the way, Otto is my favorite character in this whole show. I'm obsessed with Otto. And likewise, I'm obsessed with Euro, who plays Otto.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, Euro's like, he's what? He's like 26, 27? No, not.
No.
Young. Quite a youth. So like, it also really threw me off in Dangerous Romance because I just sort of like, I couldn't gauge how old everyone was in real life.
It's true. Yeah, because for Perth and Shimon, they're really young. They're like, what, 21, 22 maybe?
Right.
But I feel like they're 35 because they've been
acting forever.
Since they're children. And yeah, I think that's part of it too. And, you know, I think a lot about the idea that like, I don't know a ton about Perth and Shimon's personal life, but I know a ton about their professional lives and who they've played in the past and what they've done in the past and who they are in the entertainment world. And so I think for me, that's what was a little jarring. As good of an actor as you are, like there is a certain moment for me that like I can no longer see these characters. And that's again, testament to the chemistry between two people, right? Like, I thought like Jung and Dunk in Hidden Agenda played these characters really well, and I didn't see Jung and Dunk. Whereas like I don't know if Perth and Shimon are quite there yet in again relation to the chemistry in relation to each other, because in relation to everybody else, I thought it worked and they did a great job.
Oh, see, I disagree. I definitely saw Perth as Kankan the whole time. Like, I didn't see Perth. I wasn't like, oh, that's Perth. You know, potentially because, like, Love by Chance was... You
didn't watch that, did you?
I did. Somebody made me an edit. A very, very nice person on the Discord that we're members of made me an edit because I was like, I feel uncomfortable. Like, I personally, as an adult... feel uncomfortable watching a 17-year-old do a sex scene. Like that, like that's what I said. I was like, I don't want to watch this because like it makes me personally feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Perth was really young. Perth was 17 in that show. And I was like, and it was spicy. And I was like, that makes me, it's not something I personally feel comfortable watching. Right, so someone made me an edit where they literally cut out all the spicy scenes so that I could watch it and just like miss those scenes.
Which I will say that story still holds very true.
Yeah, it still worked. But I think because of that, Love by Chance wasn't something that was like near and dear to my heart.
Did you watch the second season?
I did, but only recently. I watched it recently because Buzz from Element is in it. I found out.
Well, and now Est and Mean are like taking over the BL world.
Right, but like I watched it recently because I found out.
How much was he in that? Like a hot minute.
Yeah.
Does he show up at the university when it's like
he plays Champ? I don't know. It's like Champ from Tarn Type. You remember Champ?
Yeah, but In season 2, I don't remember like what that would be in relation to.
He's like a little soccer boy.
Oh, he's just on the soccer team.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, so I did watch it for Buzz. But again, like because Love by Chance wasn't like near and dear to my heart, I think probably that's why it was easier for me to see Kankan and not Perth.
Yeah.
And also because like I very much know who Perth is as like an actor and like a member of the like entertainment industry and like this cute boy that does brand deals. But again, because I didn't when I came into the show know a ton about him, it was really easy for me to see him in that character. Shimon was a harder sell for me, I will say, with this character. And I think that's because so like Shimon as Siloam,
I didn't believe it.
I did. Honestly, I didn't believe that he has ever. Like, I didn't believe the struggle part of it. I thought that he killed it during the funny scenes. Like, in the very first episode when he has this, like, when he's, like, making the money and going from job to job. And he's, like, explains why he should make more money to the car wash owner. Right. And it's like kind of like a funny slapsticky kind of scene. He kills those scenes. He kills all of the scenes with his friends. He kills. It's something about like
I wonder
him like the struggle side of the character that I was like,
I wonder if it hits too close to home because Chimon as an actual person went through a really, really hard time when he was like in high school, middle school, high school. And so potentially that's it.
Yeah, like his family's house burned up, business burned down.
Yeah, like it was real. Like he had to go work to like get them financially okay. And so potentially that's it. Like it hit too close to home and he is afraid to kind of go there even as an actor because like he hasn't maybe processed that. But like, yeah, I agree. I think that like I didn't quite. And it's interesting because I remember people in Never Let Me Go were like, oh my gosh, that ending scene where they like hug. I was like, I don't feel it. I thought Perth did a great job as his little gangster baby. And I thought Ben was a great character in relation to Puin's character.
Yeah. Ben with Nung Diao
killed it.
Is a really interesting dynamic. Now, I don't think Ben got what was coming to him.
He should have gotten shot.
He should have gotten shot.
He didn't even get shot in this show.
Violence is the answer when it comes to Ben. Thank you.
Perth took the bullet in this show too.
But what I will say,
did Perth get shot and Never Let Me Go?
No, Perth does the shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, Perth does the shooting and he shows up like a freaking action hero. And in that moment, I was like, this whole show is about him. Like my eyes are. Honestly, Never Let Me Go is such a perfect show. Oh, God. Okay. Anyways, I did really like Perth and Shimon in Never Let Me Go. But, like, at the same time, I was like, I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
But I did like them in Never Let Me Go. Honestly, I thought that I believed it a little bit more. Because I think Shimon did a better job with Ben than he did with Siloam. And again, this is not a criticism of Shimon because every other aspect of the character he killed. Like, so good. There was just something, I don't know.
That hug at the end of Never Let Me Go gave me big together high five vibes.
I mean, I liked it. I don't know.
Okay, anyways, let's continue on. We have Papang.
Yes, okay. Oh, here's the reason I realized... Here's the reason why, potentially, I wasn't feeling Shimon as, like, struggle Siloam. Papang and Shimon do not seem like brothers to me. Like, I don't know, like, that whole brother dynamic, I just didn't really, and maybe because with Papang, I see Papang, and I'm, like, in a good way, I'm, like, excited about Papang, and I, like, see Papang, and I don't even remember the brother's name. Saifa, yeah. I don't see Saifa, right? And so, like, I think that maybe that is the problem.
It is an interesting choice for one actor to play two characters in two currently airing shows.
Yeah, maybe that was hard for me. Maybe it was because I was like, Daddy Dan, get it?
Daddy Dan.
I was like, Daddy Dan, get it?
I will say, though, Saifa, or Papang is an excellent actor.
Papang is wonderful. And I will say, I did appreciate it, again, in F12, when he's released from prison.
Oh, my God.
A turn. When he's released from prison and Shimon, like, runs and jumps in his arms. Cute. I was like, okay, yeah.
I believe it then. Speaking of prison, let's also talk about Pepper.
Oh my God, Pepper is such a good boy. Name it. Okay.
The whole time. Anytime Name and Sci-Fi are in the same room, I'm like, it's gay.
Oh my God. Okay. Also, literally from the time Pepper shows up, we were both like, oh my God. First of all, I was like, oh my God, Pepper. Oh my God. Because I love Pepper. One time we met Pepper in real life. Oh my God. Okay. One time we met Pepper in real life and I literally couldn't speak. You did all of the speaking. We didn't chase him per se,
no.
but
we walked in the same direction he walked just in case he
turned around. We were like, okay, if he turns around.
I think we've told this story on the podcast.
Yeah. But if this is your first time listening.
We ran into him in a mall and I knew that Ayla was such a big fan of him. And I like Pepper. Him too, but not quite like Ayla does. And so I was like, I word vomit at people. And Ayla is just like, must not say a word, must not breathe their same air. I do not exist. And so I was very much like, I will talk to him. And I was like, were you Pepper? He was like,
huh? He was so what happened was you walked up to him and you just started talking to him. And he was like, huh? He was very confused. And then you caught up and you were like, you're Pepper, right? And he was like, me, Pepper, yes. It was really cute. And also he was with Luke June. They're very publicly dating. And she bolted.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They're publicly dating. It's not like a secret relationship.
Potentially she was like, this is not about me. I don't want to.
Pepper. Yeah. I don't know. But then finally he caught up and you were like, yeah, can we take a photo with you? And he was like, oh yeah,
he was so eager. He was so nice about it.
He was so sweet about it. And you were like, we're your fans. And he was kind of looking at you. You were like, fan. And this was my shining moment to speak. I just went, fan club. Because in Thailand, you can't say that you're someone's fan because it means something else. And they get very confused.
Lately, I've heard them call them fans.
Fan.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah. Or FC. FC is another one that happens a lot. Anyways, I do love Pepper. And so when Pepper showed up from the first moment he showed up in the show, I was like, oh my God, Pepper. And then he was like a bad boy. He's like a gangster. And I was like,
I know, he killed it.
And he was like a good bad boy.
And then he met
and he loved Kunyai. Even though he had to rob Kunyai, he was on the inside so that they could rob the house. But then Kunyai, he loved her.
So then I called it at the very end when Name has gone to prison and Sci-Fi comes to visit him.
Well, what was funny about this, okay, backstory on this, is we were talking about this show before we watched episode 12 together. And we were talking about the show and we were like, the thing about this show is they never let us have Pepper and Papong. And we were just really going through it over we probably talked about it for 10 or 20 minutes about how it's such a bummer that they didn't put them in a relationship. And every time we just want them to kiss. Kiss.
We've had this joke since Not Me about how everyone assumed that
Graham and Black.
Yes. And then of course Graham and Yoke as well. They had their little eye contact moment, which we see how that developed. And so we always have this joke of is it gay? Because you think that literally every side character
But I was I think it is. I was so truly I was very invested.
They're friends. Maybe they want to kiss.
And then we're watching it and Name has gone to prison. He's owned up to his part in the robbery and in the shooting of Kunpa. And Papong Sci-Fi comes back to visit him and they're talking. And the whole time they're having this conversation and Name is I hope you get to go on your road trip. It's a full I hope you dance. It's fully that kind of moment.
Oh my God,
he's fully I hope you go on your road trip and I'm so sad I won't be there to watch you. But if you have a chance to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. Truly it's this moment. And I literally out loud said, wait, why can't we just wait till you get released from prison? What are you doing, my dude? A few years? He didn't shoot anybody. He just broke into the house. Whatever.
Actually, no, he did kill the bad guy.
But the bad guy was trying to kill two boys.
Yeah.
So two children.
Self-defense.
I know, not even self-defense. I feel you saved two innocent children.
True.
You're fine.
Yeah.
And then luckily Sci-Fi is my dude, I will wait for you. And then it's like, it's fully a like I can love you enough for the both. And the whole time we're like, wait, but it's going to be gay.
I was like,
and I'm like, and I go like, okay, now kiss, just smooch it, like, you know,
I was
kiss
like,
him through the
just
mesh.
put your hands through the mesh and just hold hands. And they did.
And they did it. It was outstanding. And we were like screaming. We're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it happened.
That was a fantastic
That was perfect.
moment.
And then, in a moment of genius, I've realized this is how we finally get Pepper his boy and Papong his ship. Pepper Papong, I ship it. And also the cutest ship name.
Yes.
Papong Pepper? Pepper Papong.
Pepper Pong?
Pongper.
Pepong.
Pepong.
Sounds cute.
Anyways.
GMMTV if you're listening. Pepong.
First of all, Pepper Papong is like the cutest thing ever. So many P's.
Papong Pepper? Papong? Pepper is tiny. So
the height. So they do have a height difference.
Papong Pepper.
And Papong is built.
Just go on Twitter. Just go look at his Twitter.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable, I will say.
And so like Pepper Papong, I feel like it's Papong Pepper.
Yeah.
So Papong Pepper, cutest ship name ever. And like, obviously after Daddy Dan and Nick, like we have to have Papong and more BLs. And after Sweet Sweet Pepper in Star in My Mind.
Yes.
Where he like didn't get the boy.
No.
Okay. Both of these boys need to get the boy. And they should get each other. And this is the BL. This is the grown-up BL that we get. This
would also be groundbreaking because this would be the first time that like a public straight boy would be the lead of a ship.
I mean, Shimon has had public girlfriends.
But not that he's posted. Like, I think that's the difference. People know that Shimon has a girlfriend, but like they haven't been like, here's my girlfriend to the world. I think it was like kind of like Nui, like it was found out. I don't think he was like, here's my... But Luke June had her girl in OnlyFriends, so like I think it's possible.
But so this is the BL.
Yes,
is an adult BL where Pepper is recently released from prison and Papong and yes, it's full Tangi. And Papong is like either his I don't know if they have parole officers in Thailand, but like like his parole officer or alternately his boss at like, you know, the company that hires the like second chance job, right? Like yes. You know, for offenders.
Sure.
And that like this is how they meet and he like doesn't trust him.
I wonder
and then
if
they fall in love and then they kiss forever on the back of a motorcycle.
Oh my God, hold on.
That's it. That's the show.
Do you think like in the US you can't get a job? It's hard to get a job if you're a felon.
I would think so. I think that's probably universal.
Yeah. Maybe other countries are more forgiving? Unclear.
There are lots of second chance employers in America.
Yeah. Yes, I would also really enjoy them kissing on the back of a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I want a season 2 of Never Let Me Go. And
here's what I want. Okay.
Pond and Puin, Nung Diao and Palm are running their little motel, whatever the thing is at the beach.
Motel, Holiday Inn.
And Papong and Pepper are running from the mob, from the mafia.
Oh, right, because Pepper, who's been recently released from prison, yes. Potentially he like offended the wrong person in prison, and their gang on the outside is coming for him,
and so he has to like
run
away.
Papong, it's like a 3OB free setup where Papong is just caught in the middle, and so like they have to go on the run together
because they're in love and they have to be together,
right? And of course, Nung Diao and Palm like really see themselves in these baby gays.
Should we send a message to JoJo? But make it comedy.
Yeah, but it's like haha funny. Yeah, and then okay, but the scene I want is
yes.
Papong is driving the motorcycle. Okay. If you're watching, I'm illustrating what I mean. Yes. So he's the one with like his hands on the handlebar, like driving the motorcycle.
Sure.
And Pepper is actually sitting in front. Okay. Here's the scene. I'm a screenwriter now. Okay. Pepper's driving the motorcycle and Papang's on the back, and they're like running from someone, and all of a sudden they're shooting. Someone's shooting at them. And Papang, of course, being like an innocent shopkeep who's been caught in the middle. Like, he doesn't have a gun. He can't shoot people. What's he gonna do? And so Pepper's like, you drive. And Papang takes the wheel, and Pepper turns around and shoots the guns over his shoulder. Okay. He pulls out 2 guns. It's like this. And he gets them. He like shoots at the car, and the car like runs off the road, and they're safe. Okay. And then they like pull over because they're finally safe, and they look at each other, and then they kiss. That's it. That's the scene I've written of you.
I just want Papang to kiss all the boys,
honestly. Yeah. Name and Saifa.
The also the gems of the show, Euro and Max.
I'm obsessed with Euro.
Also wanted them to get together.
Yeah. I ship not Euro and Max. Otto. He's Otto in the show. Otto. Euro in real life.
Yes.
Otto in the show. Euro in the streets. I ship Euro and AJ like so much. Yes. GMMTV, if you're listening. And one time I posted about Euro and AJ and how I wanted them to kiss. And I don't know if Euro speaks English or like if he just knows that he was mentioned. And so he's like, I'm gonna like this because like, and he didn't know what I was saying, but in my heart he knows what I was saying. Euro liked it when I was like, GMMTV, if you're listening, I really ship AJ and Euro. So like, I'm just saying it's real.
That would be amazing.
I'm just saying.
I hope so.
I really like Euro. I forgot that I really like Euro.
That would be groundbreaking for Euro to get a BL.
Rude.
I mean, let's be honest. For him to lead a show, GMMTV.
He would be so cute. It would be like the cutest, softest thing.
But those characters are always like the punching bags.
How dare you?
I'm just saying what's true. It would be groundbreaking. You know it would be.
How dare you? Anyways, they're very good friends. They're really funny. 10 out of 10 no notes. Amazing.
Yeah. Overall, I didn't hate the show.
No. I thought it was a fun show. I had fun watching it. I have 2 beefs.
I did not have fun watching it.
Oh, I did.
I pushed through. I enjoyed parts of it. I didn't suffer.
I have 2 specific beefs. My first beef. I in no way condone a former teacher. Oh, yeah. If you met somebody because they were your student, you cannot date them.
What is it with the high school teachers hanging out with the students after they've graduated?
I had the same problem with the Eclipse. This is not like my hatred for this spans across all shows.
I mean, I'll give you that these 2 girls, there was nothing implied romantic. It was just like friendly.
No, there kind of was. I feel like it's kind of similar to how they did it in the Eclipse, where like there kind of was, because there's that scene in Ep 12 at the end when Otto is like, all the boys in the van are like, is it gay?
When did they become friends?
Yeah, like all the boys in the van are like, is it gay? Like, and then there's that scene where like she like at the very end like drapes her in the scarf or whatever. Like,
sure.
I don't. It's inappropriate, is my opinion, and I don't like it, and it's not for me. That's my first beef. My second beef is truly you potentially don't know about this, and I hope for your sake the credits rolled and you turned off the show and then you lived your life happily.
This was
and
offensive.
You don't have PTSD flashbacks to this scene like I do.
What was the point of this?
The post-credit scene. The post-credit role play bathtub scene?
Yeah, what in the Pretty Woman? I thought
it was unhinged from the beginning.
It was making light of the like very traumatic like host boy that Shimon had to be multiple times throughout the show.
Right.
Because he was traumatized by those situations.
That's why it's like weird. I was like, this wasn't like a fun, light-hearted thing. So like, what? And this is, so I literally just kept going, ew, 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 ew. From the moment they started being like, I'll be your host tonight. What do you want, daddy? Like that whole situation.
What services?
I just, no. Honestly, the whole time I was like, no. And then It truly became unhinged when he's like, you need to go shower first.
I did.
And then I'll give you, like, honestly, it was like, what in the Jessica Rabbit ridiculousness? And he's wearing like a bow tie. Oh, Jesus Lord.
I love that he got into the bathtub with all his clothes.
I was going to say, it truly became unhinged when he was like, started to get in the bathtub. And at first I thought, like, because he unbuttons his cuffs.
Right.
And I was like, okay, he's going to undress and get in the bathtub, which I still don't think I would have wanted to see because it was like a weird setup. But then he got in the bathtub fully clothed, and that's when it truly became unhinged. What?
You know that there are people out there that are watching that scene and are like, oh my God, this is so cute. I love this. Look at these two. You know that there are.
I mean, the dialogue in the bathtub, once we've made it to the bathtub, the dialogue in the bathtub was like cute and nice, and it was like cute to see them being like boyfriends and cute and like celebrating his entrance into university. But it was the setup of it for me.
That was weird.
The role play, like, and I would never kink shame them. But again, why are we tying back to your boyfriend's trauma?
Yeah. And I will say this goes to the whole like weird tone shifts that they constantly had throughout the show.
Yes.
Because you went from like really, really weird, lighthearted with like very forced music to like really, really serious and dark. And you're like, it doesn't feel consistent.
Well, and they even swing it, like, do you remember, I think this was like episode 2 or 3 maybe, when it's the introduction of Pepper. They've basically, the gang has come to the house and they're like, Papang, you owe us money. You're really cute, but cute don't pay the bills. Mm-hmm. And then they like come back and they knock on the door and like Pepper comes in and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. And he's like, and Papang's like, ha ha ha, no you're not. Please. No you're not, because instead you just want to kiss me. And so like he's like, we're friends. Pan.
That's their role play. That's their post-credit scene.
Again, I would never kink shame them. But he's like, Pam. And it's like funny and jokey because you've got this dude who's like trying to act so tough and he's got like a cigarette. Right. And he's like being a cool guy. And then you have Papang who's just like cheesing. He's like, oh my God, my pan. No. Yeah, right? Yeah, and then not 2 seconds later, do they come back, beat the hell out of Shimon.
Right.
And then Perth has to come save him. Right. And it's like, it goes from like, he, this is like a funny, lighthearted gang to like, no, this is a Kin Porsche gang. Like.
It was intense. I did like the scene where Perth is still messing, or Kang Han is still messing with Siloam, and he goes to get his car washed and he tries to like plant his credit card on Siloam, and then Siloam is too smart and he puts it back on Kang Han, and I thought that scene was really funny.
Yeah, I appreciate that they continue that dynamic throughout the show. I actually think it's really cute. I like it so much, and it's those moments that make me like see them as like, I'm like their fun boyfriends. Like I do, like one of my favorite scenes was when he's like come back to school and all this dramatic stuff has happened, and Kang Han has hung this giant banner from a building that's like, welcome back. And like, it's so funny and lighthearted. He like chases him and it's like, he's teasing him, right? He's like, and I really appreciate that dynamic of them like having become friends. Like they truly, this was like a true enemies to lovers trope where like, they did, you can't just go from I hate you to I love you. There has to be a friendship that you've built in the middle.
Right.
And so like I feel like you can or I could truly see that like there's that friendship. Like yes, they want to kiss, yes, they want to like sit in bathtubs fully clothed together, like but they're friends over, and they're cute and it's funny and like
they bonded over soccer.
I like it.
Cute. Love that for you.
Yeah,
this is an interesting one. I will not watch it again.
I might watch it again. Out of curiosity of like, did I miss something? Yeah. Also, I really like Euro, and then like now that I dream of Pepper and Papang every night.
I will be doing this my Gear Your Gown rewatch that GMMTV is doing on TV in Thailand.
Yeah, Mark and Pawan had a really sweet ending.
Because I remember people not liking My Gear Your Gown. People were very anti.
I liked that show.
I did too. And I remember.
Did we ever do a series Sunday for that one? We watched it.
I don't think so.
Maybe that'll be a series Sunday because I liked it.
Stay tuned. We have merch. Buy your merch. If you want to come on our Thailand trip next year, there are no spots available. However, you can sign up for the wait list. We just got another sign up for the wait list this week. It is a year from now, so like many things could happen with people, and so who knows?
Stay on that wait list.
Hopefully everyone that's already signed up can make it, but
we also potentially will be doing another trip, and the more people on the wait list, the more likely it is that they'll let us do another trip. So
sign up. This has been Let's Talk BL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all things Let's Talk BL at Let's Talk BL.